Hey everybody, I'm Axel. Welcome to my channel. I am the Wondrous Writing Witch, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Today, I'm going to talk about the top 5 favorite stories that I have read or listened to. It is very subject to change because I read and listen to a lot of books. But right now, here is the list of my personal favorites, and they're going in descending order. The 5th slot is split between 2 books. Deal with it. The number 5 slot is given to The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman and The Savior Sister by Jenna Moreci. I love The Invisible Library for its simplistic magic system. It actually has like 3 magic systems going on, and I love how they all interconnect, but the main one fuels my writerly soul, and it's awesome because if you mess up your grammar, bad shit's gonna happen, and I love consequences from fuck-ups with words. I don't know. It's a magic trope where if they mess up the spell, shit goes awry. I know it's cliche, but I love it so much. What you gonna do? And then also sharing this slot is The Savior's Sister. I really love both The Savior's Champion and The Savior's Sister in the series, but I feel that Layla's problems are more active. I feel like they're her problems. And don't get me wrong, Tobias's problems are his problems. But without spoiling too much, most of his problems just involve trying to deal with other people's problems. And Layla has so much shit going on, and I love it. And I love just her vibe. So who knows? I'm excited for the 3rd installment. We shall see where my favorite perspective lies. Coming in at number 4 is Rebel's Creed by Daniel Greene. Another book that got me on the 2nd installment because the first one, it was good. I liked it. But the second one drew me into the world so much more, and the vibe, the essence of it became a whole lot more unique versus inspirational. I feel like you could really feel his inspiration from Brandon Sanderson in his first one, and in the second one he developed more his own unique style, and I am living for it. I'm super excited to see what he brings out next and see how his style evolves. I know he's taking a break from this series to write something else at the moment, but you should still go read these 2 installments or listen to them because they are narrated by Matthew Kramer, and I should know this. Rebel's Creed, pretend I'm not looking it up. I know Matthew Kramer. Everyone should know Matthew Kramer, but I should know the other one. I feel awful. Kate Reading. Pretend I didn't look that up. But Kate Reading and Matthew Kramer narrate it. It's an awesome listen. Coming behind door number 3 is Upon a Burning Throne by Ashok K. Banker. If you're in the States, you know we don't get a lot of different kinds of folklore. We get a lot of the same tired Greek and Nordic stuff. And that's what we have to work with. That's what people like, so that's what gets pumped out over here. But when we get other mythos and other cultures and religions, it's the best. And this book does wonders. This book does an astounding job at drawing you into a culture that is not your own, and if it is your own, please leave a comment below on how well it does. I personally felt super just immersed in a whole other vibe that was wonderful to experience, and on a whole other level when you listen to it on Audible. When we read things that aren't of our own dialect, at least for me, I just don't feel like I'm reading it correctly, and I want someone to read it to me, so thank you, Audible. You're my best friend. But hearing this hearing everything pronounced correctly, and hearing someone tell the story, chills. I binged this so fast. It was a very big, like, don't you ever interrupt me while I'm reading a book moment. If you know what that's from, leave a comment for that. But go read this book. That one's not a recommendation. That one, just go fucking add it to your goddamn queue. Go add it to your TBR. Whatever. Read it. Listen to it. Absorb it. We need more of this. Ticking down to number 2, I have Grave Peril by Jim Butcher. I love the entire Dresden Files series. I'm not done with it yet. Don't come for me. I'm on like book 9 or 10. I'm sorry, there's a lot of them. But as so far, I really like Grave Peril because I feel like that's when things start to get real for our protagonist. I know he's already had some traumatic shit go down, but I feel like that's when it just hits a new level for Harry Dresden and he starts to grow up. And I love his whole arc, the whole catalyst that we see from his journey. So if you haven't read the Dresden Files, don't watch the show. Go read it. Go listen to it. I've heard a lot of people say that they need to listen to it to understand his tone. Agree, disagree. Maybe it's because I'm from Chicago, so I already read it from that tone. So I think you can read it. But otherwise, go listen to it. I just think you should listen to everything and read it. I think you should do both if you have the option. But I realize I've almost for every single one of these books said go listen to it because I've listened to all of them as well. Before I get down to the number 1 spot, I want to give an honorable mention to an Audible original, The Dispatcher by John Scalzi. It's narrated by Zachary Quinto, and I believe there's a second installment now. I fucking love this mystery detective noir thing that they've got going on with this series, and it's based on a world where people can't be murdered, and the main character's job is essentially to murder those people. I know that sounds confusing, which is why you should go listen to it. It's wonderful, and come on, Zachary Quinto. I could listen to him read a phone book. Couldn't we all? And number 1, I have The Villain's Code by Drew Hayes. I've never really liked superhero, supervillain novels. I love comics, I love movies, I love video games, but they're always too larger than life for books for me. I just like my books to be a little more gritty, realistic, and, you know, a little bit more developed. And this book gives you all of that. It gives you the gritty, it gives you the realistic shit that I think would happen if people were, you know, super. It's very Invincible vibes, but in a book. And it's incredible. I'm not sure why this book hits all of those things so well, but it does, and it only gets better in book 2. Maybe I'm biased because my favorite character gets an upgrade and becomes more badass than she already is, but I love it. So go read this goddamn book. And that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Leave your favorites in the comments below. I'm always looking for new recommendations. Until next time, deuces, peace among worlds, love y'all, that hippie stuff. Bye.